They're colorful, crisp, and found in almost every senior's salad. But could this innocent-looking vegetable be the reason your joints feel like they're rusting from the inside out? Research shows bell peppers may not be as joint-friendly as we once believed, especially after 60. Stick with me, because this common kitchen staple might be quietly sabotaging your mobility and your comfort. If you've been adding bell peppers to your meals thinking they're a safe, nutrient-rich way to stay healthy after 60, you're not alone. They're packed with vitamin C, they look beautiful on a plate, and they have that satisfying crunch that makes them seem like the perfect healthy snack. But here's the hidden truth. Bell peppers belong to a group of plants known as nightshades, and for some seniors, nightshades may quietly trigger joint pain, stiffness, and inflammation. Nightshades include vegetables like tomatoes, eggplants, white potatoes, and, yes, bell peppers. What do they all have in common? A natural chemical compound called solanine. Solanine is a glycoalkaloid, an organic toxin that plants use as a defense mechanism. While small amounts don't affect most people, for others, especially those with sensitive immune systems, arthritis, or age-related inflammation, solanine can act like a slow-drip irritant. When solanine builds up in the system, it may interfere with enzyme activity in the gut, triggering inflammatory responses that spread throughout the body. This is especially dangerous for seniors whose immune systems are more prone to overreaction, making them more likely to experience joint discomfort, swelling, or even autoimmune flares. In a 2010 study published in the Journal of Inflammation Research, researchers found that nightshade vegetables, especially when consumed regularly, can stimulate pro-inflammatory cytokines in individuals with pre-existing joint problems. In simpler terms, they can turn up the volume on the body's internal fire alarms, making the joints feel stiff, sore, and harder to move. For those already managing arthritis, osteoporosis, or simply age-related joint wear and tear, this can feel like pouring gasoline on an already smoldering flame. And because the symptoms don't appear immediately, it's easy to overlook the connection between what you eat and how you feel the next morning. This isn't about fear, it's about awareness. Bell peppers are not inherently bad, but for seniors already dealing with aching knees or swollen fingers, they could be an invisible contributor. Just like some people can't tolerate dairy or gluten, some bodies don't respond well to nightshades, especially as we age. That's why it's so important to pay attention to the small signs your body gives you. Morning stiffness, slower walking, trouble bending your fingers. These aren't just signs of getting older. Sometimes they're warnings, and sometimes the trigger is as close as what's on your dinner plate. Coming up, I'll reveal the one key symptom that may be your body's way of crying out, "I can't handle nightshades anymore." Plus, I'll show you what vegetables actually help calm inflammation and taste just as good. As we age, our bodies don't process foods the same way they used to. What once passed through the gut without issue can now spark uncomfortable symptoms, especially when it comes to hidden triggers like nightshades. And here's where it gets crucial. Seniors are more vulnerable to the effects of nightshades not because they're unhealthy, but because of how aging changes the gut, immune system, and joints. Let's start with the gut. Inside your digestive system lives a massive ecosystem of bacteria known as the gut microbiome. It controls everything from digestion to inflammation levels and even immune function. But after the age of 60, the diversity of that gut flora often decreases. This decline weakens the intestinal lining, making it easier for small particles, like compounds from solanine, to pass into the bloodstream where they don't belong. That's called leaky gut, and when it happens, the immune system goes on high alert. It starts attacking things that were once harmless. According to a 2022 review in Frontiers in Immunology, age-related gut permeability is linked to higher instances of chronic inflammation and autoimmune flare-ups. So even if bell peppers never bothered you before, they might be a problem now, and your body's reaction may be silently building day after day. And then there's the immune system itself. As we grow older, we experience something called immunosenescence, a fancy word for the slow decline of immune regulation. The body becomes less effective at distinguishing friend from foe, and low-grade inflammation becomes a constant background hum. Researchers call this process inflammaging, and it's been linked to nearly every age-related condition, from joint degeneration to cardiovascular disease. Nightshades, with their natural plant toxins and inflammatory alkaloids, can add fuel to that flame. They may overstimulate an immune system that's already confused, making it harder for the body to resolve inflammation, especially around the joints. And unlike acute inflammation, which comes and goes, chronic joint inflammation grinds you down over time. You wake up stiff, your fingers feel swollen, your knees hurt going upstairs, and you can't quite figure out why. Meanwhile, the joints themselves are changing too. The cartilage, the soft padding between bones, thins out with age. Joint fluid decreases. Even minor irritants like cytokine overproduction from nightshades can set off disproportionate pain responses. The less cushion and fluid you have, the more sensitive you are to triggers, even the ones hiding in your favorite salad. So why does this matter? Because if you're over 60 and dealing with joint pain, stiffness, or swelling, especially without a clear diagnosis, nightshades could be a silent accomplice. And while they don't affect everyone, they're worth looking at if your symptoms don't seem to improve, no matter how many supplements or medications you try. The good news? There are powerful joint-friendly vegetables that support mobility, reduce pain, and work with your aging body, not against it. In the next section, we'll break down the 3 signs that bell peppers might be hurting your joints more than helping, and what to swap them for instead. For most seniors, joint pain is just accepted as part of getting older. But what if it isn't? What if certain foods, like bell peppers, are quietly making things worse? The truth is, your body often sends signals long before a diagnosis. You just need to know what to look for. Here are 3 warning signs your joints might be reacting to bell peppers, and why ignoring them could cost you comfort, energy, and independence. Warning sign 1. Morning stiffness that lasts over 30 minutes. It's normal to feel a little creaky when you first wake up, but if it takes more than 30 minutes just to loosen your joints, or if your fingers feel like they're stuck in slow motion, you might be experiencing chronic, low-grade inflammation. Inflammation that, according to a 2013 study in clinical rheumatology, can be worsened by dietary triggers like glycoalkaloids found in nightshades. Here's the key. This isn't just old age. If you notice that your stiffness comes and goes in waves or gets worse after certain meals, your body might be reacting to what you ate, not just how old you are. Warning sign 2, random flare-ups in fingers, knees, or hips. Have you ever had a day where your joints just ache for no clear reason? Maybe it wasn't cold. Maybe you didn't overexert yourself. Yet somehow your knees throb or your fingers swell, making simple tasks like opening jars or climbing stairs feel 10 times harder. These kinds of unpredictable pain flares are a major red flag, and they often go unexplained. Bell peppers and other nightshades can contribute to these episodes by creating delayed onset inflammation, which can spike 12 to 48 hours after eating. You may never connect the dots unless you start paying attention to patterns. Researchers at the Journal of Nutrition and Aging have noted that nightshade-sensitive individuals often experience non-linear symptom timelines, meaning the pain doesn't show up immediately. That's why food logs or elimination trials can be so eye-opening for older adults. Warning sign 3. Swelling in joints without obvious injury. You haven't twisted your ankle. You haven't fallen. And yet, your joints look puffy, especially after meals. This kind of subtle swelling in the hands, knees, or feet often flies under the radar, chalked up to fluid retention or bad circulation, but it can also be a clue that your immune system is responding to a food-based irritant. When your body encounters something it sees as a threat, even something as harmless-looking as bell peppers, it sends in white blood cells to attack. This creates localized inflammation, which leads to heat, swelling, and soreness. It's a protective mechanism, but it comes at a cost: your comfort, your flexibility, and your mobility. So, if you've noticed swollen knuckles after lunch, or your knees puffing up in the evening, it might be time to look at what's on your plate, not just what's happening in your joints. These signs don't always scream danger, but together they form a pattern that could point to a hidden intolerance. And remember, even if you've eaten bell peppers your whole life without issue, your body at 65 is not your body at 35. Sensitivities change. Immune responses evolve. And your joints may be trying to tell you something important. In the next section, we'll explore the surprising nutritional dark side of bell peppers, including how their most praised vitamin could actually make joint pain worse when consumed in excess, especially in cooked or roasted form. Bell peppers are often called a superfood, and on the surface they check all the boxes: low calorie, high in vitamin C, rich in antioxidants, and full of color. But here's the twist. For older adults with joint issues, the very things that make bell peppers healthy may be causing harm beneath the surface. Let's start with the most praised nutrient in bell peppers: vitamin C. While it's crucial for immune support and collagen production, too much vitamin C, especially in concentrated sources, can increase oxalate levels in the body. Oxalates are naturally occurring compounds found in some fruits and vegetables that bind to calcium. When oxalates build up, they can form crystals in the joints and kidneys, contributing to pain, swelling, and even the formation of kidney stones. According to a study in the American Journal of Kidney Diseases, high oxalate diets have been linked to joint discomfort and inflammation in sensitive individuals, especially those over 60 whose kidneys don't filter as efficiently. Bell peppers, while not the highest oxalate food, can become a problem when eaten frequently alongside other high oxalate foods like spinach, beets, or almonds. Now let's talk about capsaicin, the compound that gives spicy peppers their heat. While bell peppers aren't spicy, they still contain trace amounts of capsaicinoids, especially in the seeds and white inner membrane. Capsaicin is known for its ability to reduce pain when applied topically, but ingested regularly, it can actually irritate the intestinal lining, especially in older adults with weakened gut barriers. Aging gut linings become thinner, less protected by mucus, and more vulnerable to irritants. Even mild compounds like those in bell peppers can cause microscopic damage, leading to low-grade inflammation that eventually reaches the joints. Then there's the issue of nightshade pigments, particularly the bright red and yellow carotenoids like beta-carotene and lutein. While these antioxidants have benefits for eye health, they may not be as neutral as we once thought. A 2019 paper in Molecular Nutrition and Food Research found that certain carotenoids can trigger immune responses in genetically predisposed individuals, especially those with rheumatoid arthritis or autoimmune markers. And finally, consider how most people prepare bell peppers: roasted, grilled, or sautéed at high heat. Cooking bell peppers intensifies their flavor, but it also alters the structure of their compounds, making them more bioavailable, and therefore potentially more inflammatory to sensitive systems. High-heat cooking can increase the oxidative activity of certain phytochemicals, which, instead of helping, may stimulate cytokine release, the very messengers responsible for joint inflammation. So while bell peppers may look harmless and even be beneficial for some, the combination of oxalates, nightshade alkaloids, carotenoid pigments, and heat-altered compounds could be creating a perfect storm for joint irritation, especially for seniors whose bodies are already dealing with age-related wear and tear. In the next section, I'll show you the best bell pepper alternatives, vegetables that offer just as much color, crunch, and nutritional power without triggering inflammation. These are foods your joints will actually thank you for. If bell peppers have been a regular part of your meals, it might feel overwhelming to consider cutting them out. After all, they add color, crunch, and a hint of sweetness to everything from stir-fries to salads. But the good news is, you don't have to give up those things to protect your joints. There are several vegetables that deliver the same benefits, without the inflammatory side effects. Here are 5 joint-friendly replacements your body, and your taste buds, will thank you for. First one is zucchini, the anti-inflammatory powerhouse. Zucchini offers the perfect bell pepper substitute for stir-fries, sautés, and roasted dishes. It's rich in vitamin A, potassium, and water, making it both hydrating and anti-inflammatory. The best part, zucchini belongs to the squash family, not the nightshades, so it contains 0 solanine and won't trigger the same joint discomfort. A study published in Nutrients in 2021 highlighted that the flavonoids in zucchini help suppress inflammatory markers, especially in older adults. Try slicing zucchini into strips and grilling it for a smoky, pepper-like flavor. Second is carrots, crunchy and cartilage-loving. Carrots bring the crunch and the color, but without the chemical baggage. They're high in beta-carotene, which the body converts into vitamin A, essential for reducing oxidative stress in the joints. Unlike bell peppers, carrots are not known to provoke immune responses, even in people with arthritis. According to research in the Journal of Aging Research, a diet high in carotenoid-rich vegetables like carrots was linked to a reduction in inflammatory joint pain in seniors over a 6-month period. They're perfect for raw snacking or adding to salads and soups. Third is cucumbers, cooling and hydrating relief. If you're looking for a refreshing, joint-friendly veggie to replace raw bell peppers in your salads, cucumbers are ideal. With a water content of over 95%, they help flush excess sodium and toxins from the body, 2 major contributors to joint swelling. Cucumbers also contain silica, a trace mineral that supports joint repair and collagen production. And thanks to their natural diuretic effect, they help reduce the fluid retention that often causes morning stiffness and evening swelling in older adults. Fourth is sweet potatoes, naturally soothing and satisfying. When it comes to roasted or baked dishes, sweet potatoes can take the place of roasted bell peppers with ease. Rich in complex carbs, vitamin C, fiber, and beta-carotene, sweet potatoes deliver anti-inflammatory benefits in a delicious, satisfying way. A 2020 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that regular consumption of sweet potatoes was associated with reduced levels of C-reactive protein, a marker of chronic inflammation. They're also naturally gluten and nightshade-free, making them safe for most sensitive digestive systems. Fifth is yellow squash, bright, mild, and gentle on the joints. Yellow squash offers a similar sunny color to bell peppers and a mild, buttery taste that fits well into almost any dish. It's packed with vitamin C, manganese, and fiber, but unlike bell peppers, it doesn't contain inflammatory glycoalkaloids. Its antioxidant profile supports collagen regeneration, making it a smart choice for seniors who want to maintain strong, flexible joints. You can sauté, steam, or bake yellow squash as a colorful addition to meals without worrying about post-meal flare-ups. Here is a bonus tip for you. If you're unsure which vegetables might be affecting your joints, try a 2-week elimination where you remove bell peppers and other nightshades entirely. Then slowly reintroduce one item at a time. Often, your body will tell you exactly what's helping and what's hurting. In the next section, we'll reveal the incredible transformation of a senior who removed bell peppers from her diet and experienced relief she never thought was possible, without changing anything else. Bell peppers. Who would have thought something so bright and beautiful, something praised in cookbooks and wellness blogs, could silently be making life harder for people like Margaret, and maybe even for you. That's the strange thing about health after 60. The rules start to change. Foods your body once loved might now cause discomfort. Routines that used to work may suddenly feel exhausting. And the truth is, there's no one-size-fits-all path to aging well. What this really teaches us isn't just about peppers. It's about paying attention. It's about listening when your body whispers, before it starts to scream. Because healing doesn't always come from a pill bottle or a prescription. Sometimes it comes from noticing that your hands swell the morning after a stir-fry. Sometimes it's found in a food journal, or a choice to swap peppers for zucchini. Sometimes, healing starts with something as simple as the question, what if I just tried taking it out? And here's the thing, they never told you that. No one pulled you aside at 60 and said, hey, your joints might not like Nightshades anymore. But you're learning, you're reclaiming the steering wheel, and that matters more than any trending health tip or miracle food. Because the path forward isn't about fear, it's about curiosity. It's about experimenting, observing, adjusting. That's how real wellness happens, not through perfection, but through presence. And if you're wondering what else your body might be trying to tell you, there's one vitamin that could be the missing piece behind your leg tingling and nerve pain. It's often overlooked, and most seniors are unknowingly deficient. You can discover it in the next video on your screen.